Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen, is a very divisive fan base. You either have love or you get a lot of hate. And that's what you expect from Star Wars these days. Me, I am a pretty big fan of Star Wars. I love the original trilogy. In a way, I grew up with the prequel trilogy. I guess I wasn't alive. I mean, I was alive for like maybe episode 3 maybe, but like infant. But when I was a child, the prequel trilogy, I can still remember saying, hey, I used to watch like episode 1 through 3 in the Sci-Fi Channel. It was like a big thing. And yeah, I always had Star Wars. I've always been around Star Wars. And I just love Star Wars. And the original trilogy, me having a chance to rewatch them was just splendid. So getting to see another show from Star Wars, me loving The Mandalorian. I didn't see the season 3 because just the word of mouth was enough. And also Andor being highly praised as the last Star Wars show. And yes, Ahsoka, let's talk about it. The show that we're talking about is Ahsoka. Ahsoka is an action-adventure drama. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano investigates an emerging threat to the vulnerable galaxy. The rating is TV-14 in color. The film is directed and created by Dave Filoni, known for Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Bad Batch, and Tales of the Jedi. And directed, episode-wise, by Filoni, Steph Green, Rick Famuyiwa, Jennifer Jett Singer, Jetta Vassen-Patel, and Peter Ramsey. And you may be wondering, why did I put the Clone Wars in? And the show is created by Dave Filoni, because he didn't create the show. It was created by George Lucas. And people forget. People look at Dave Filoni as like, oh, he created... Like, yeah, he did work for the show, and he gave proper help for it. But it's a George Lucas creation in a way. And yes, Ahsoka Tano is, of course, Dave Filoni's baby. This is his baby. He created her. He did the animation for her. This is his baby. And finally, for him to pretty much bring this character to live action in a way, as any fan of Star Wars or just the fans of the animations are very much happy and pleased. And in a way, people love this show and some will hate this show. In a way of some haven't even gotten the chance to see the Clone Wars or Rebels. This is very much a Rebels season 5 in a way. When I put that in the description, I'm pretty much very, very mean that. Because it is a Rebels season 5. It's very much the same characters from Rebels coming back, and it's a continuation pretty much. And yeah, as my thoughts come by the end of the show, I felt pleased in a way. I enjoyed the show from beginning to end. I found entertainment, I found intrigue, of course, mostly on specific certain characters, some of the hope, I guess, for what could come. But all around, I just had a pretty damn good time, even though I'm not, in a way, informed of Clone Wars and Rebels. I've never seen the shows. I may have seen maybe a few episodes of Clone Wars, but never anything fully. So I'm very much blinded by this, and of course there's certain things I didn't understand. There's certain things I couldn't really give thoughts of. That's why when I talk about the show, it's quite difficult, because it's like I haven't seen the other shows, so it's just me going super blind with this. But even with that, I still enjoyed it and had fun with it. The performances are pretty solid by everybody. Of course, you got the main character, Rosario Dawson, played Ahsoka Tano. And in a way, I'm not going to blame Rosario Dawson in a way, because, again, it can really matter to direction. But I felt like the character was quite dry in a way. I felt like she didn't give much of a performance in a way where there wasn't much to get from. There wasn't much of drama. There wasn't much of like stakes with her character. It was very much her just doing her thing, and she's just doing this a lot, just to be like, this, that. That's about it with her performance. There's not much drive. Hell, the kid actress had better performance. But in a way, it can matter to direction and what they were giving her. I don't know. I can't say what was happening during that, because I couldn't really like go in with Ahsoka Tano as a character. I could see her as, yeah, she's older, she's wiser, but that doesn't mean she's more drier with age. I don't know. I feel like just because you get older, that doesn't mean you become stone cold here, you know. But that's about it. But yeah, I thought the character was cool, but just the performance in a way, the emotions were just, there's not much you can do. There wasn't much I could get from. The antagonist is Grand Admiral Thrawn, played by Lars Mikkelsen, and yeah, of course, this is a very iconic character. People love this character. People are a fan of this character. But again, he had a menacing entrance. I'll give him that. But I didn't get much of it. They were hyping him up, but it wasn't like I couldn't really be like, all right, let's get a roll with him. He seemed like a cool character. I'll give him that. It seems cool. He seemed like a very well calculated, gentleman. But he didn't do much for me to be like, all right, let's root for this guy. We gotta get to see more of him. Hopefully, we only got 3 episodes with him. Hopefully, we get to see more. And you also got, which in my opinion, the best performance in this show, and probably the best antagonist in Star Wars since, ever. Ray Stevenson sadly passed away playing Baylan Skoll, who is a former Jedi turned bad guy, and he's doing the deed. And man, Ray Stevenson's amazing in this series. He is truly the gold that you find from the show. Of course, the performances by everybody's pretty alright by standards, but Baylan Skoll, that character, and just the performance by Ray Stevenson is truly something that you can just pick out and be like, that is absolutely flawless and stunning and perfect in every way. Ray Stevenson sadly passed away, and it's a shame that we didn't get to see more about this character. But man, when he shows up, you pay attention, and man, Ray Stevenson's amazing. You also got supporting characters. You got Natasha Leo. We got the actress Natasha Leo Bordizzo playing Sabine Wren, who is this, of course, a young girl, very, again, teenage kind of girl, teenage brat type. She's a little hectic, and yeah, she's an alright character. She's not a character that I'm gonna be like picking out and saying, "Yeah, man, I like that character a lot." She's fine. She just seemed, again, what I've heard about is that she's an adult. She's been through the whole Rebels, and I'm like, this girl still acts like she's a fucking child. Like, it's like, come on, people age, you can grow, and it's like she still plays that character, and it's what I'm not gonna blame the actress. I'm just gonna blame, in a way, what they gave, I guess. You also got Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the character Hera. She's a cool character, kind of incompetent as a leader, but I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I'm always gonna like her. You also got David Tennant. I love him as an actor, playing Hugh Young, and he's great. I honestly love that character. He's a cool supporting guy. He's a great companion, and he's been through a lot. He's been through the Clone Wars. He's been through like the Jedi, and I'm just like, man, this guy is a very valuable person. I'm surprised fucking Luke hasn't even known nothing about this person. Luke would have probably been like, all right, let's grab Hugh Young and fucking bring him to train the young Jedis, and he'd think that'd have been cool. But yeah, I'm surprised Luke hasn't found this dude. All our performances are right. That are pretty solid by everybody. Specifically Baylan Skoll is great, and I like Hugh Young. But Ahsoka Tano was a little dry. The show itself was pretty entertaining, pretty solid. Of course, this is finally we're getting a little plan. I guess there's a plan here. I can tell there's a plan here, and that we'll see where this is gonna go. We're gonna see where this ends up, and all around throughout the show, though, I was having fun with the episodes being episodic. Some of the fights were cool, and just some of the writing and the intrigue and world building. I had a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I had a good time. And the writing by Dave Filoni, of course, Dave Filoni is the guy that everybody's like, Dave Filoni, he's like the fucking Lucas. And yeah, Dave Filoni, it's pretty well written. There's some certain moments where you can definitely pick out and be like, alright, things that could be like, come on, you could do better. And yeah, but certain things where you could definitely pick out, though. The music by Kevin Kiner, who was the composer and did the score for some of the shows of Stargate, SG-1, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Narcos Mexico. And man, the score for this show is great. I give it that. Kevin Kiner did a great job composing this show. The show's edited by Dana E. Kloberman, who was the editor for Northern Exposure, Counterpart, The Mandalorian, and also edited by Rosanna Tan. Edited Stalker, Mr. Robot, Homecoming. Also edited by James D. Wilcox, who also edited Soul Food, Reno 911, and Genius, who edited by 3 people. Of course, there was like 9 episodes or so. But it's pretty well editing. The pacing is not too slow. Of course, some in the beginning, I think the first episode or 2 was kind of slow in the beginning. But other than that, throughout the whole series, it was pretty well edited. The DP by Eric Stilberg, who did the DP for Eastbound and Down, Billions, and The Good Doctor, and also DP by Guyan Tran. And it's a well-shot movie. Show. And it's beautiful looking at times, and it's pretty well shot. Some of the visuals are pretty damn good, and I thought the show was really good looking. And the action scenes, nowhere near prequel level. I think the prequel always will beat that. But all around, the action scenes are pretty solid. VFX is great. I didn't really notice anything bad. The whales are a little iffy, but you deal with that. And all around, Ahsoka, pretty solid show. This is not the worst of the Star Wars television. I do think the worst is probably the Kenobi series, the Book of Boba Fett. I think this is, tops that, but it doesn't beat Andor in the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. But I think it's a pretty solid show for a first watch. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. I had a good time with it. And yeah, I enjoyed Ahsoka, and I'm optimistic to see where this is gonna go, but we'll see what happens.